This is me there. I did all the stunts. Some of the girls got picked for their bodies, which you can say I had one, and others for the gymnastics. But actually, I could do all the cheers.
Cassie, these are wonderful photographs.
Thank you.
But you're going on trial for murder tomorrow, and I really think we need to focus on the case.
You said it was important that the jury feel they know me a little.
Yes, but whether you did your own backflips in high school isn't relevant.
We also need to meet with your housekeeper.
Nanny. Although she might as well be a housekeeper since foster care yanked away my son.
This case could turn on her testimony, so
You think I did it, don't you?
it's not our place to pass judgment.
What about the New Jersey incident?
As we explained, since you weren't convicted there, the prosecution can't introduce it
I
into
mean, do you think I did that one?
I wouldn't know.
I didn't. It was probably his wife. She did time in a rubber room, you know. And for someone who supposedly loved her husband, why wasn't she at the trial? Loved ones of the victims always go to trial to see the murderer get theirs.
Well, perhaps, as you say, she was the killer, so she'd feel no need to see you get yours.
We need to concentrate on this trial. Who ran over who 7 years ago in New Jersey isn't relevant.
They're real.
I'm sorry?
My breasts. I can tell when women are looking at them to see. The real.
So are mine. Is there a point?
It's just that people think I'm a fraud. The police obviously do. That's why I'm going on trial, isn't it? And the jury's gonna think if she'd lie about her tits, then she'd lie about anything. Well, they're real. The jury needs to know it. This way, please. Here you go. Thank you. Lindsay Dole.
Ralph Alt, pleasure.
Hi.
Ed L'Amato,
How do you do?
Nice to meet you.
Brian Adams, Stanley Wells, and Roland Monroe, our client.
Pleasure to meet you, Lindsay.
Nice to meet you.
Please have a seat.
Thank you.
I know it was incredibly short notice. I appreciate your agreeing to meet with us.
No problem.
Roland is CEO of Seaboard Airlines, a fairly new East Coast commuter service.
I've heard of it.
They're being sued today in federal court. The plaintiff, a prospective passenger, is seeking a restraining order to enjoin one of Seaboard's policies. And we'd like you to join with us and actually argue the motion. We can fully brief you on all the issues, which are pretty straightforward, assuming you're interested.
Okay, what am I missing?
Excuse me?
This is a big law firm with plenty of high-powered civil litigators. My practice has been almost exclusively criminal. Why do you want me?
We don't expect to win the motion. Our goal is to attract attention. Now, in addition to being a pretty gifted attorney, you're attractive, and at the moment, extremely hot copy, given your murder conviction and recent release. Basically, we think you'll make the news.
I want this particular policy to get some play.
What's the policy?
We don't fly Arabs.
You're kidding, right?
I'm not kidding. We want to be known as the most security-conscious airline in the New World.
Obviously, the longer this thing stays in play, the more publicity it generates. Ideally, we'd like to get Roland on the stand for an evidentiary hearing. If you can accomplish that, fantastic.
You don't fly Arabs.
She's a total loon, Eugene.
Let's just do our job.
What is our job? The directive from the client has been to authenticate her breasts.
Well, did they at least take away her driver's license?
Excuse me?
When she ran over her last lover?
She wasn't convicted of that, Lucy. Sophie, I thought we were gonna meet down at the courthouse.
I know, but can I talk to the two of you for a second? I'm starting to panic a little. I don't think I should testify.
Shouldn't testify. You're the alibi.
I know, but I have a little skeleton in my closet, and I am suddenly afraid that if the DA finds out...
What skeleton?
4 years ago, I sort of changed my name, and not exactly legally.
What do you mean you sort of changed your name?
I embezzled. A little. From a former employer. It was nothing too serious. But my lawyer said that there was a possibility that I could go to jail, so I fled the state and came to Massachusetts, and with the help of some less reputable lawyers, I became Sophie Taylor.
She tells you this an hour before trial?
I'm not sure you can call her.
Why?
Because you can't knowingly put up a witness to lie. She so much as says the name Sophie Taylor, it's a lie.
Look, the likelihood is the prosecution will have no idea about this. She has no record as Sophie Taylor.
That isn't relevant to the legal ethics.
What's her real name?
She won't tell us. Jamie, maybe you and Lucy could find that out.
Why don't you just plead this thing?
We'd love to. Helen won't. The best they'll offer is murder too.
Then go with what you've got. This man is an American citizen. He's a college professor.
The intent is safety here, not bias. And when...
Oh, come on, counsel. The assumption itself is a bias. To make an airline safe, you have to exclude Arabs?
Your Honor, I will admit the outrageousness of this policy.
How generous of you. Do you also acknowledge something called equal protection?
The rich are already doing this. They're chartering private Gulfstreams to fly on Arab-free planes. One could argue my client is serving equality by offering the same privilege to the middle class.
One could argue it. I wouldn't.
With the court's permission, I'd like to conduct a short evidentiary hearing so you can hear directly from my client.
We don't need a hearing to determine whether or not...
I will submit the laws in this area are complicated. If you're going to shut us down, I would at least request the courtesy of hearing what my client has to say.
Two o'clock.
Revenge is said to be the greatest of all motivators. There is no psychological force greater, none, than the will to get even. You will hear evidence how Cassie Ray and Jason Scott were lovers. They even had a child together. Then early last May, Jason Scott broke it off. And Cassie Ray became enraged. The evidence will reveal the threats the defendant made against the victim. The evidence will show on May 23rd, in the middle of the night, Cassie Ray drove to the victim's house, picked up a baseball bat, and attacked the victim while he lay sleeping. The coroner will tell you Jason Scott was struck on the head over 50 times. The expert psychiatrist will tell you that this inhuman brutality can only come from profound vengeance. Most of all, the evidence will reveal that this brutal murder was committed by Cassie Ray.
The evidence will indeed reveal this was a brutal, vicious murder, but that's all the evidence will tell you. The evidence here is thin, circumstantial, no witnesses. Cassie Ray has an alibi. She was at home sleeping on the evening of May 23rd, and her nanny will take the stand and tell you my client never left her house. Prosecution has a burden to prove guilt beyond all reasonable doubt. The evidence will reveal they can't even come close.
What the jury won't be allowed to hear is that Cassie Ray was arrested 7 years ago for mowing down another lover with her SUV. Since Miss Ray was acquitted of that murder, the information is inadmissible. In other legal news, Seaboard Airlines was sued today in federal court for its refusal to allow passengers of Arab or Islamic descent on its aircraft.
Well, they made the news. That's what they wanted, right?
Lucy, is it okay if I transfer my calls? I need to pick up the little man at daycare.
Sure.
Maybe you should get your own secretary.
I'm sorry?
You have your own practice now. Maybe you should have your own secretary.
Is there a problem?
Well, you know, I'm just concerned that people will call, get Lucy, and think you still work here. And we'll be confused with the kind of firm that defends bigots.
Oh, I see. You defend murderers, but a bigot?
It is not the same thing, and you know it.
All right.
We don't defend a person's right to kill. You are defending this client's right to engage in racial profiling. And to the extent that you're helping to legitimize prejudice, don't think you're not fueling a murder or two down the road, Lindsay.
I need to take cases, Rebecca.
You didn't need to take that one.
I'm trying to build a civil practice here.
You didn't need to take that one.
That's pretty much how he looked when we arrived.
Detective, who called the police to the scene?
Ms. Ray's nanny. She was dropping the child off for a visit when she discovered the body.
And, Detective, could you tell us what physical evidence you found?
The defendant's fingerprints were all over the house. We found hair genetically matching the defendant. Specifically, one of the defendant's hairs was found on the murder weapon, her bloody shoe print, tire tracks matching the defendant's car. We also found a bite mark on the victim. Dental imprints revealed an exact match with the defendant.
Fresh bite mark?
Within the last 24 hours, yes.
Possible he was bitten the day before he was killed.
We can't rule it out, but...
Thank you. And if my client were in that house the day before this murder, it's possible she left her prints, tire tracks, and hair behind then. Isn't it, Detective?
Anything's possible, counsel, but again,
My client also came to the house once the body was discovered, didn't she? She entered the premises.
She did. She was restrained.
She contaminated the scene, didn't she?
Part of the scene.
Possible she left her bloody footprint then, isn't it?
We don't believe it was left then.
Can you rule it out?
No, but...
You found the baseball bat on the floor.
That's correct.
Well, then it's possible the hair you found on the bat could have come off the carpet. Right?
I heard her screaming at him.
The defendant?
The very day before the murder. I was walking my cat past Jason's house. Oh, God rest his soul. And I heard her yelling, "You can't do this. I won't let you do this." And I even thought I heard a scuffle.
No. Miss Jessel, the night of the murder, did you observe anything unusual?
Yes. About 1 a.m., I was walking my cat. We're both fairly nocturnal. And I saw her car parked one street over from his house.
The defendant's car?
Parked a street away. Like she didn't want anyone to notice. But I noticed.
You were walking your cat?
Yes, I was. I suppose that makes me crazy.
You said you saw my client's car. What was the license plate?
It's a Mercedes, silver.
You didn't get the license?
No.
Do you believe in past lives, Miss Jessel?
Nor does that make me crazy, if that's your implication.
Were you on Earth before this life?
Yes, I was.
As?
A cat.
It's discrimination. I don't pretend otherwise, but it's necessary.
Why?
Look, we can screen baggage, search passengers, get most of the weapons. But you know who we catch? The unwitting people who aren't really trying to get past us. And even some of them get by. Anybody truly determined to take a plane down. I just can't look my customers in the eye and say I guarantee it won't happen.
But you can if you ban Arabs?
We improve our chances. The terrorists we're most at risk from come from the Muslim world. That's a fact.
Also a fact. This is racial profiling.
Without a doubt. But we're not the first to do it. Immigration fingerprints and photographs any Islamic coming into this country. We don't do that with the French.
But what you're doing isn't tightening security. You're barring them.
Look, people do not feel comfortable seeing an Arab person on their plane. They do not feel safe. I'm in a customer service business here. If my customer does not feel safe, I'm out of business.
That's what this is really about, isn't it, Mr. Monroe? The bottom line.
It's about trying to assure our customers that the security...
We don't fly Arabs.
Mr. First, I'm a great believer in equal justice. But so are most of the people on those planes September 11th.
That's as cheap as it is offensive.
I don't think so. We have all kinds of weapons that can avoid detection. Plus, these terrorists are trained in physical combat. Even if you eliminate the weapons...
What if your research showed that blacks were more likely to commit mayhem on a plane?
I would never exclude blacks, because I would consider that bias to be unreasonable. This prejudice isn't.
There are 1.6 billion Muslims in the world, and you're discriminating against all of them because of the actions of 19. That's reasonable?
Start your own company and run it the way you'd like. I should get the same courtesy.
We don't give people the right to be a bigot in this country.
How about the right to be safe?
What if somebody was convicted of a crime? Do you screen them out?
No.
What about, say, your attorney? Would you fly her?
Objection.
I've been her son's nanny for almost 2 years.
You're a live-in?
Yes, and my bedroom is right over the garage.
Ma'am, I call your attention to the night of May 23rd, 2002. Where were you that night?
I was home at Cassie's house.
And was she there?
Yes, she was. All night.
Can you tell us what you remember, specifically?
Yes. Cassie was having sinus problems, so she took some sleeping pills to help her sleep, and since they kind of knock her out, she asked me to listen for Timothy in case he should cry. I left the door open so I could hear.
Are you a deep sleeper?
I'm an extremely light sleeper.
Do you know whether my client ever left the house that night?
She couldn't have. If she so much as started the car, she would have woken me.
Thank you.
Miss Taylor. You're very devoted to Cassie Ray, aren't you?
Yes. But I am telling the truth. She never left the house that night.
I see. Did you?
Did I? No.
After you discovered Jason Scott's body and the police arrived, do you remember what you told them?
Not really. I was in shock. They had to calm me down.
You don't remember telling the police that you left the house that night?
I didn't tell them that.
Well, yes, you did. You said you were home all night with the exception of when you called a cab to go to the pharmacy. You see that man, Sophie? He's the cab driver who drove you. Now, do you remember going to the pharmacy?
I forgot that I told the police about that.
Oh, you forgot you told the police that. Would you be up here lying to save Cassie?
No. I forgot about the pharmacy. I was gone 30 minutes, tops.
By the way, I have no record of a Sophie Taylor existing until 3 years ago. Would that be your real name?
Am I dead?
It doesn't look good. Listen. I think we should plead to murder too. I know it's not much, but it beats murder 1.
I know you think I did it. You don't want to win this, do you?
We are doing our very best, Cassie. But I have to say, you were dumped by 2 boyfriends. Both end up dead.
Ryan never dumped me.
Ryan would be New Jersey?
He loved me. He had a wife and a family. That's the only reason he didn't want to leave. He loved me. And I didn't kill him. I had an alibi. That's why I didn't get convicted. I had an alibi.
Yes, you always seem to find yourself an alibi. But your car ran over him.
It was stolen. I reported it stolen.
Okay, so someone stole your car and just happened to run over your lover with it.
I had an alibi. And he loved me. He had a family, that's all. Don't you go saying Ryan didn't love me.
And Jason? He loved you too?
No. Jason did dump me. He deserved what he got. But I didn't do it. Ryan loved me. It was only because he had a family.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, I bit him. I was mad at him. I don't deny that. But I still loved him.
Why were you so angry with Jason Scott?
I was in love with him. I took care of him. I raised his son. I made love to him. I let him nuzzle himself to sleep every single night on my breasts, which are real, by the way. I was practically a wife, and he dumped me.
Did you make threats?
Yes. I screamed at him, I admit. I even told people I hated him. But underneath, I still loved him. I could never...
Cassie, did you ever leave your house the night of his death?
Never. I took a sleeping pill. I was knocked out. I was there the day of, and we argued, and I bit him, but I never went there that night.
You bit him because you were angry?
Yes, and why shouldn't I be? I have a son, and right now he's in foster care, for God's sakes. I shouldn't be angry.
Well, he's in foster care because his father's dead and his mother's being charged with the murder.
Exactly, for which I'm innocent. How could I not be angry?
Cassie, you get angry a lot, don't you?
I don't get violent, if that's where you're headed.
Okay. Cassie, I'm holding in my hands your diary. This is your diary, correct?
Yes.
I would like you to read the clipped page dated March 11th, 2002.
He has his precious bat he got at an auction, signed by Harmon Killebrew. I feel like pounding his head with it. Maybe one day I will.
Sorry.
You laughed?
I couldn't help it.
What do you mean you couldn't help it? How do you laugh?
She bites him. Her prints and hairs are all over the scene. She threatens him. Her alibi turns out to be a big lie with no name. I'm thinking, what else could possibly go wrong? Of course. She puts an entry in her diary saying she wants to beat on his head with a bat. Come on.
That doesn't mean you laugh.
Did you know about this diary?
Of course we didn't know that. We're taking the fun out of it.
Eugene.
I can't wait to see what happens next. By the way, Cassie knew the police had her diary, and she forgot to tell us. She forgot to tell us.
What are you gonna do?
What else can I do? It's Plan B time.
Plan B? Who?
The nanny.
What?
The nanny?
Unless somebody's got a better idea.
Eugene.
Bobby, don't tell me how ridiculous it is. This case went to ridiculous a long time ago.
You're going to accuse the nanny?
What would be the motive?
Don't need a motive. Hell, I don't even know her real name. It's all a big mystery. Mystery is doubt. Reasonable doubt. Maybe they were lovers. Anybody think about that? Sophie and Cassie are lovers. This Jason was getting in the way, so out comes Harmon Killebrew. Let's go with that.
Eugene, let's think about this.
Bobby, what's to think about? Sophie is as dumb as Cassie. Who knows? This might even work.
These are very good times for intolerance. I mean, come on, who among us, if we see a Muslim on our flight, doesn't check the bastard out head to toe? They blew up the World Trade Center, for God's sakes. And every single one of us, over a year later, still feels violated. But what's being violated today so openly, even proudly, is our civil rights. Our freedom. The thing that America is supposed to be about. There's nothing proud about this day, Your Honor. Sorry, I didn't see that coming. I apologize. I have this ritual with my 9-year-old daughter over breakfast. I tell her about the case that I'm arguing, and she tells me about school. And this week, she's learning about Rosa Parks. She said, "Imagine, Daddy. They used to make blacks sit in the back of the bus." Sure, it's a different world since 9/11. But the times of our nation have always been defined most by who we are as a people. Well, who are we? Do we really stand for liberty? I mean, are we truly the champions of equal rights? Are Martin Luther King's words about judging a person by the content of their character, not by the color of their skin? Do we live by these words? Or are they just credos that we trumpet when we're not running scared?
We the people. That's how our Constitution begins. Since 9/11, the people want justice. People want revenge. But mostly, people want security. Our government tells us every day the next attack is coming. Be on the lookout. It's not a question of if, but when. It's not about screening weapons. The airplane itself is the weapon. It's a big flying bomb. It has to be about stopping certain people from getting on board. And yes, by certain people, I mean Arabs. Racial profiling is a terrible thing, but the reality is, it has become necessary. These terrorists are unlike any enemy that we have ever faced. They're not just evil. They're educated, trained, and willing to die themselves. They live among us as neighbors. They are among us. It's not possible to behaviorally pick them out. That's why, to be safe, an airline has to screen them all. Or at least an airline should be allowed to. When I was growing up, America was always a land whose borders were open. A place where anybody from any nation could come to our shores, work hard, and fulfill his dreams. I've always loved being an American. I have a young son. And once my dream for him was to grow up in this America. But that's no longer a possibility. And I cry about that. I cry for my son. But as his mother, I want him to be safe. I want for him to be able to get on a plane that won't be used as a bomb. And I don't think you can dismiss that as paranoia, Your Honor. When our own leaders are telling us to be afraid.
I'll remind you, Miss Taylor, that you're under oath. We had a lot of surprises earlier, didn't we? Turns out you were gone from the house. Sophie Taylor isn't your real name. Kind of begs the question, doesn't it? You killed Jason Scott, didn't you?
What?
It was you.
What are you doing?
What's going on?
Mr. Young. Your Honor, I have reason to suspect this woman of the murder. This woman is a felon. What state did you flee after you were caught embezzling?
Hey,
What's your name, ma'am?
I told you that in private.
You're not my client, ma'am. What's your name?
You can't do this.
Tell us who you are.
Your Honor, I plead the Second Amendment.
Let's try the fifth. Did you kill Jason Scott?
No.
You had keys to his house, her car. You could have easily taken one of Cassie's hairs and stuck it to a bat.
Your Honor.
What? You're crazy.
Your Honor, I demand you order this woman to reveal her real name. Maybe she's killed others.
Mr. Young, settle down, now. You know what, Ms. Taylor, or whoever you are? I am going to order you to tell us your true identity. Otherwise, I will hold you in contempt.
Marge Fennell. I'm from Connecticut.
And who did you embezzle from, Miss Fennell?
I didn't. I just made it up to make me sound a little exotic. I got a speeding ticket once.
Well, we had to at least try. Now what?
Showtime, I guess.
Showtime? I thought we already had showtime. What are you gonna do now?
We're going to close.
With what?
United States of America.
Be seated.
I find it almost unimaginable that we are in court to decide whether it is permissible for an airline to discriminate against a group based on its ethnicity. It is a flat-out violation of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Commerce Clause, and the idea repulses me. It is unimaginable. But I'm reminded of a column I read in the New York Times by Thomas Friedman. He said what happened on September the 11th was beyond unimaginable. It wasn't so much our intelligence agencies as it was our imaginations that failed. We simply couldn't conceive that educated people from privileged homes, no less, would turn a plane into a missile, killing themselves and so many innocent people. Mr. First, you are asking me to weigh the principles of law, of reason, perhaps morality, against a phenomenon of terrorism that knows no such boundaries. That's why the government has so much as admitted they don't know what steps to take against the ones waiting to strike next. They are beyond our imagination. Ms. Dole, you mentioned that you loved being an American. So do I. I became a judge, first and foremost, to protect those liberties so afforded us by the Constitution, those freedoms that we all hold so precious and, until recently, so fundamental. But the reality is we make exceptions to our constitutional rights all the time. Be it freedom of speech, religion, none of them is absolute. The legal test for doing something so patently unconstitutional is basically, you better have a damn good reason. There has been one other long-standing reality in this country. If not safe, one can never be free. With great personal disgust, I am denying the plaintiff's motion for a TRO. We can all take consolation in knowing that this ruling probably won't stick on appeal, but let's not kid ourselves. The day is soon coming when it will. Plaintiff's motion denied. We're adjourned.
Counselor. Thank you, Lindsay. Fantastic.
Something tells me you're gonna have a pretty decent civil practice for yourself.
Okay.
She threatened him. They were heard fighting the day before. Her car was seen parked a block away the night of the murder. Her prints, hairs, fibers, all over the scene of the crime. There was even one hair on the murder weapon. She left a bloody shoe print. She puts an alibi witness up here who lied, who admitted she couldn't totally account for the defendant's whereabouts. She even lied about her own name. Who knows what else she made up? The psychiatric expert told you. There's only one motive for this kind of killing. When a man gets hit on the head over 50 times, it's rage, revenge. This woman wrote in her own diary, Maybe I'll beat him on his head with a baseball bat. Gee, I wonder what happened.
I don't know about you, but I'm getting damn sick and tired of waking up, reading in the paper of yet another innocent man on death row being cleared by DNA. How the hell did we put so many people on death row for crimes they didn't commit? I figure it's got to be the juries, not doing their jobs. I'm sure all these suspects looked guilty. If they didn't look guilty, they wouldn't be on trial. Everybody who gets arrested looks guilty. The police are even sure of it, but it's up to the jury to make sure they prove it beyond all reasonable doubt, because this is the United States of America. And in the United States of America, we don't lock people up, especially for murder, unless the government satisfies that burden. Now, once we say, okay, you don't have to prove it beyond all reasonable doubt, then the innocent, including you and me, could get locked up. That's not acceptable in the United States of America, is it? Is it? Now look what we have here. My client looks guilty, like Ms. Gamble said. They got prints, they got fibers, hair on the bat, a diary, a witness sees the car. She looks damn guilty, but when you stop, she was there the day before. Of course her prints and fibers are all over. A bloody bat falls on the carpet, stuff's gonna stick to it, including hair. And as for the car being seen that night, yeah, by some nut who thinks she'll come back as a cat. These aren't the kind of building blocks we use to deny a person her freedom for the rest of her natural life. Not in the United States of America. Now, as for the diary, you think she's the first woman to ever think about killing her lover? Come on. I mean, think about it 3-4 times a day. She gets punished for what she thinks because she writes it down in the book. That's not what we do in this country. We demand proof, and it isn't there. My client took a sleeping pill. That was never contradicted. She was never seen leaving her house. It's possible that somebody else came into that house. Detective McGuire couldn't rule it out. Did you hear him rule it out? No. That somebody could have been Sophie Taylor or Marge Fennell or whatever the hell her name is. She's a liar. She had keys to the car, keys to the victim's house. Struck me as a wacko. Who among us doesn't have doubts about her? Now, you can think my client is guilty. That's reasonable. The point is, you can't know it. You can't be convinced beyond all reasonable doubt. And failing that high standard of proof, Ms. Ray must be presumed innocent. Because after all, this is the United States of America.
Donald Dole, whatever. Hey, Eleanor. Oops. Now? Already? Okay. Jury's back. They were out 16 minutes.
What the hell?
What's wrong?
Call Eugene.
I can't. They're in court. Cell phones are off.
Madam Foreperson, has the jury reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
Will the defendant please rise? What say you?
In the matter of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts versus Cassie Ray, on the charge of murder in the first degree, we find the defendant, Cassie Ray, guilty.
Members of the jury are dismissed. With the thanks of the court, we're adjourned.
So I go to prison?
You're gonna go back into custody, and they're gonna hold you there until sentencing. We're gonna go over any grounds for appeals, and we're gonna talk to you tomorrow. Just hang in there, Cassie. We're gonna talk to you tomorrow. I never thought that I'd feel sorry for somebody who bashed a man to death with a baseball bat.
What happened?
We lost.
I found out who she is.
Who?
Sophie Taylor. Fennel is her maiden name. I found out who she is.
Now what?
Ryan Hunter was run over 7 years ago in New Jersey. Cassie was prosecuted and acquitted. Mrs. Hunter had a breakdown and was institutionalized. She was released 3 years ago and changed her name to Sophie Taylor. You became a nanny for your husband's mistress.
Small world.
Did she kill your husband or did you, framing her?
7 years is a long time to remember.
I assume Cassie doesn't know who you really are.
Can I be there when you tell her? I would really love to see her face.
You killed Jason Scott. Set yourself up as a defense witness, knowing they'd blow you apart on the stand.
Oh, now, come on. That's a bit risky. Why would I take such a chance?
Because you're insane. And just like Helen Gamble said, revenge is a great motivator.
We'll never get her out, you know? The evidence? A conviction? We'll never get her out.
Counsel?
Know what'll happen next? An Islamic is going to say something anti-American. He'll be shot dead. And we're going to see a new insanity defense. It'll be called 9/11 Rage. I promise you. It's coming. 9/11 Rage as diminished capacity, and the real perversity. It's a winner. A sure winner.
You stinker!
Previously on The Practice.
His lawyer fell out. The case has already been continued 6 times.
What's the case?
Statutory rape.
I don't want it.
I didn't ask.
I never forced him.
Mr. Orbis, he's 13 years old.
I loved him.
I have to attack a 13-year-old rape victim. And I don't want to do it.
Well, you will.
And if I tank it?
Please. You don't think I just pulled your name out of a hat?
Do you take drugs, Justin?
All right.
This is the accusing witness.
Go ahead.
After you were caught with drugs, Justin, you got suspended then, didn't you?
Yes.
And this is when...
You hypocrite! You leave the church accusing us of enabling sex offenders.
There's a difference between...
There's a difference?
I was ordered by the court.
Then quit your profession.
We, the jury, return a finding of not guilty.
The defendant is free to go.
I know you can beat this.
Earl, trial is not an option here. You killed a cop.
who told me he was a drug dealer.
Because he was working undercover. And even if he was a drug dealer, it's still murder to shoot him.
How many times do I have to tell you it was an accident? Are you stupid?
Since your own lawyer has trouble buying your story, you might consider how hard it will be to convince a jury.
You know what, Mr. Jerkoff? Just defend me. And while you're doing so, stop trying to pretend that you're better than me. Your last client was a child rapist who you seem to have no problem getting off. Now you do what you need to, Bobby. Accuse the cop's widow. Argue that he shot himself. You can even stand up and say you did it. I don't much care. You can even argue accident because that is what it was.
You listen to me.
No, you listen. I am the customer, Bobby. Aside from that, you need to remember you and I are a lot alike. I'm a drug dealer, you defend drug dealers. We need to accept ourselves for what we are, Bobby. And add to that, I am the customer.
Why do I need help?
I'm not saying you need help. I'm just offering.
I'm fine. Thank you.
Bobby, it is a cop killer case. Those 10
Did I lose the ability to try cases alone?
No.
Did I lose the ability to ask for help when I need it?
No.
Did you lose the ability to sleep? Because you look like crap. For you, I mean. You're still better looking than me.
Can I help you?
I need a lawyer. I was arrested.
For?
Drugs. Marijuana. They're gonna put me in jail.
Jamie?
Excellent. I'm Jamie Stringer. Hello. I'll be your attorney. You are?
Tammy Rowe.
Let's go in the conference room.
The evidence will show Detective Bowers was working undercover on a drug detail when the defendant, Earl Johnson, attacked him, took his gun, and shot him to death. Detective Bowers was the first Boston police officer to be killed in the line of duty in over a decade. That's his wife, son, and 2 daughters sitting over there. I'm sure we'd all like to extend our condolences. But you can do something more. You can give them justice. And at the end of this case, that's all they'll ask you for.
Mr. Donnell?
Justice is all my client's entitled to. And it's all we ask for as well.
What the hell was that?
I didn't want to tip our defense.
Tip our defense? You give a one-liner that's...
Hey, fire me.
What's going on with you? You've represented me many times. Suddenly you got this big problem.
My problem is you suddenly doubting me.
Because you seem different.
Look, it's like you said. You're the customer. I took your money. I'll give you your money's worth.
That opening?
Was designed to keep Helen Gamble in the dark. The fact that you're in the dark stuns me, given your advanced mental acuity.
What is this? You want me to threaten you so you can get off the case? I would never, ever threaten you, Bobby. You keep forgetting. We're like brothers.
Will they put me in prison? I highly doubt it. The fact that they released you before even being arraigned... I'll see you at the courthouse, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. The search seems to be bogus. She was pulled over for rolling through a stop sign. Please.
How much pot?
An ounce.
She wasn't under the influence?
No, totally sober.
Who's sitting, do you know?
I think Judge Brentford. Why?
Brentford? You're home.
I'm sorry?
Brentford is the flirting judge, and you've got blonde hair. Forget it. This case is as good as kicked.
What do you mean, the flirting judge?
All you have to do is smile at him. Big smile, over the top. If he thinks you think he's cute, he'll suppress on the spot.
What?
No, he's right. I've had 6 cases kicked on smiles alone. I mean, and with Lindsay, he doesn't even wait for the facts with her.
Can you flirt?
Can I flirt? Like with every professor I ever had, thank you.
Like I said, you're home.
Can I flirt?
That was genius.
That was mean.
It was a buy-bust operation. Detective Bowers was posing as a seller.
Detective Bowers was your partner?
Yes. Our goal here was to arrest the defendant, then cut a deal for information on other drug sources.
Detective, would you describe what happened?
The operation was in an alley between 2 abandoned buildings. I manned an observation post on the roof of one of the buildings, and we had unmarked cars at either end of the alley.
And?
I saw the defendant, Earl Johnson, go into the alley and walk up to Eddie. A minute later, I heard a shot. By the time I got to him, Eddie was dead. The defendant started to run. I pulled my weapon, went in pursuit, and eventually apprehended him.
You never actually saw what happened?
They were standing in the bay of a roll-up garage door. It was dark.
You didn't see it?
No.
And you couldn't hear either?
We don't wire undercover officers in cases like this.
So if there had been a fight for the gun, you wouldn't know?
If there'd been a fight for the gun, your client would be dead.
Would you say Detective Bowers was an aggressive officer?
I would say he was an excellent officer.
Move to strike, non-responsive.
Sustained.
I wouldn't say he was overly aggressive, no.
But he'd fight with suspects.
Yes, he'd use his fists instead of his gun, which probably saved lives.
But some suspects complained that he used excessive physical force.
Not one of those complaints was ever upheld.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Okay, you're up next. I expect it to be pretty quick. Don't editorialize. This lawyer will make you pay for it. Just spit out the facts.
You expect it to be quick. Ms. Gamble, you did read the autopsy.
Yes, single gunshot wound to the chest.
Did you keep reading?
Steroids?
I'm not saying illegal. The over-the-counter muscle-building supplements are identical to the illegal stuff.
Was he ever tested?
For drugs of abuse, coke, heroin, not steroids.
Steroid rage.
What?
Of course, that's their defense. Bobby Donnell's going to argue that your partner flipped out.
That's ridiculous.
He's got a few excessive force complaints on his record.
Look, Eddie never had any steroid rage. He was my partner for 9 years. I'm telling you, he was an even-tempered guy, and this was a standard bust.
Well, he had steroids in his system. Bobby Donnell has that autopsy report. He's going to argue your partner started the fight. Trust me.
Commonwealth versus Tammy Rowe, possession of controlled substance.
Your Honor, we'd like to, waive reading, if that's all right. Since there's no question of bail, we'd like to move to suppress the search at your convenience.
Why are you so happy?
Just happy to be here, Your Honor.
Why?
My client was stopped for rolling through a stop sign. There was no reasonable basis to search her car, and I always enjoy being able to right a constitutional wrong.
Are you a real lawyer?
Am I? Yes.
Are you coming on to me?
I would never. As hard as it is to resist. I just... I am so sorry, Your Honor. I started some new allergy medication, and it has made me so loopy. I'd just like to schedule a suppression hearing, if I could, where I could question the arresting officer.
2 o'clock. Will you be normal by then?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
What were you doing?
It was technical.
It didn't seem like normal lawyering to me.
Wait here 1 second. I cannot believe you did that.
It was a joke, Jamie. Calm down.
It was not a funny joke. You humiliated me. This is a real case, you know, and somebody's freedom is at stake, and you decide...
It was marijuana. Please.
Miss Stringer, if I may ask, what the hell was that?
Didn't you hear me? Allergy medication.
Uh-huh. Listen, I'll give your girl 2 years. If you challenge the search, I'm going for 7.
7? What?
She has 2 priors for coke.
Even so, 7 years.
1 was for dealing. Look, take the 2. Otherwise...
I'll let you know.
You didn't tell us she had a prior for dealing.
Take your turn. You don't know what you're missing. Bobby. Bobby.
Bobby. Aren't you due back at 1?
The officer died from a single gunshot wound to the chest. The bullet exited the body at the 6th cervical vertebra. It was fired by the officer's own weapon, a police-issue Glock.
Tell us about the entry wound.
It had powder residue and stippling burns arranged in a stellate pattern.
Meaning?
The muzzle was jammed up into the victim's chest with pressure. He was shot point blank.
Thank you, Doctor. Nothing further.
The report says the entry wound was elongated.
Yes. The muzzle wasn't flat against the body, it was angled.
How did the muzzle get angled?
I don't know.
You also don't know why my client was in the alley, or what happened before the gun was fired.
No.
For all you know, this shooting was accidental.
I suppose it could have been suicide, too. But I doubt it.
Isn't it possible that there was a fight for the gun, and it went off?
It's possible, or the street was angled, or your client's hand slipped, or the victim flinched.
Thank you, Doctor. Nothing further.
Ms. Gamble, redirect.
No. What are you doing?
What do you mean?
Well, Bobby, what's your defense? Accident, self-defense?
I don't have to tell you, Ellen.
Well, actually, if it's self-defense, you do have to give notice.
I'll tell you what you need to know.
Bobby, would you look at me? Are you all right?
I'm fine.
Is he sleeping?
Not enough.
Why isn't somebody second sharing?
He won't have it. Helen, is he really screwing up?
I don't know. He could be laying a trap to sandbag me. You guys have pulled so many stunts. But he seems off. He's either screwing up or he's got me exactly where he wants me.
The suspect had proceeded through a stop sign without coming to a full stop.
Okay. And then you searched the vehicle?
Yes. Finding a packet which appeared to be marijuana. Lab analysis concluded it was marijuana, and the suspect was placed under arrest for possession of a controlled substance.
All right. What made you decide to search the vehicle?
It had a "Watch Your Car" sticker on the rear bumper.
I beg your pardon?
It's a way to help citizens fight crime. They register with us, we give them a sticker which lets us stop and search their car to make sure that it's not stolen or being used in a crime. On the decal, it says, "You have consent to search this vehicle."
Is it a successful program?
Very. Over 100 cities and towns in Massachusetts participate. Insurance companies even reduce your rates if you join.
How many cars in that neighborhood have those stickers?
Almost all the cars on my beat. It's how we've cut auto theft and other crimes in the area by half.
You searched her car because of a bumper sticker?
One that gave me consent to search, yes.
This wasn't even her car.
It was her parents' car,
And her parents' bumper sticker.
but she knew about it.
So you're claiming you got your consent to search from a bumper sticker?
And a decal.
Is that legal?
A lot of cities have been doing this. Neighbors banding together, giving up rights.
That's...
Unconstitutional? No court has said so.
I'm going to challenge it.
You won't win.
But this? A bumper sticker waving Fourth Amendment rights?
Jamie, is the deal still on the table?
No?
So she's looking at 7 years?
Yes.
I walked into the alley to buy heroin. I'm a heroin addict.
Did you see Officer Bowers there?
I didn't know he was an officer. He told me he was a drug dealer. I told him what I wanted. I also told him his prices were too high. When it looked like the deal was going south, he grabbed me and threw me into the wall. Next thing I knew, we were in a fight. I heard gunshots. His body falls to the ground.
Did you ever attack him?
Never.
Did you ever try to take his gun?
I didn't know he had a gun. I never intended to hurt him.
You were desperate for heroin.
I was eager.
So eager, in fact, that you tried to steal the drugs, which led to you stealing his gun and killing him.
No.
The objection is sustained.
You have stolen drugs before.
Yes, and I've stolen to buy drugs.
In fact, you're a convicted felon.
Yes.
A convicted felon that has lied about his drug crimes.
Yes.
Just like you're lying now to avoid punishment for this drug crime.
No. I mean, lying is a part of my disease, but I am not...
Lying is a part of your disease. After the gun went off and Detective Bowers slumped to the ground, what did you do?
I ran.
You didn't try to get him help?
I knew how it would look, so I just ran.
Did you take anything with you?
The heroin.
Anything else?
The gun.
The gun. The gun that had gone off and killed a police officer.
Yes.
Had you grabbed for the gun prior to it going off?
No.
Uh-huh. So you just pick up a gun that has killed a police officer, putting your prints on it, putting it in your possession. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Nothing further.
Mr. Donnell?
The defense rests, Your Honor.
I told you if you challenge the search, the offer's no good.
Yes, that's why I'm unchallenging it now. Please.
Is this your first case?
My first Are you kidding? Right. My first, I think not. Second. Look, the idea of this girl getting 7 years.
I have marching orders from my office. The deal is off, Jamie. But on a more positive note, if you look over there, it seems they like your work.
Who are you feeling sorry for here? Yourself or your client?
Both.
Before, you were feeling outrage. You need to hang on to that. Use it. Challenge on Fourth Amendment grounds. Tap into your outrage.
Okay.
Look, this is no time to sulk. This is where you dig in.
Right.
You need any help with research or anything?
I'm fine, thank you.
Jamie, I'm sorry.
You know what? I really have to work on this, Jimmy. Okay?
Sure.
Got a second?
Better be worth it, Helen. In addition to being ex parte, you're coming between me and the crapper. I already have the sports pages in hand.
I'd like to move for a mistrial.
I beg your pardon?
As unorthodox as it seems...
On what grounds?
Inadequate counsel.
You're the prosecutor.
I'm also an officer of this court, and from where I sit, Bobby Donnell's tanking this trial.
That's a pretty serious allegation.
Look, the victim had steroids in his system. It was in the autopsy report. For Bobby not to take advantage of that.
Maybe he didn't read the autopsy.
We're talking about Bobby Donnell. Come on, he gave a 2-sentence opening. His crosses have been weak. Have you even been able to discern a defense theory?
Yes. Accident.
Look, the defendant is a cop killer. Clearly, I want to put him away. But I have a separate obligation to make sure his rights are protected. As do you.
First of all, nothing Bobby has done rises to the level of incompetence.
But if we have knowledge that a lawyer is deliberately trying to lose...
Come on. Do you really think that?
No. But I think he's hit a wall. He looks numb.
Look, the law says I'm not supposed to undermine the defendant's confidence in his own lawyer. So far, this idiot seems fine with Donald. If you want, you can report him to the bar when this is over. Until then, all you can do is your job, not his. Helen, I will speak to it.
I was going to a party. Stupidly, I brought along a little pot. I'm ashamed that I did so, but...
My parents are alcoholics, Your Honor, and I so don't want to end up like them. So I took pot.
Yes. And Tammy, you've used drugs in the past, haven't you?
2 years ago, I also stupidly used cocaine. I once got enough to share with some of my friends, and I was arrested for dealing when...
I am so not a dealer, and I totally don't do cocaine anymore at all.
Just pot.
It was stupid.
Tammy, referring back to when you were stopped, did you know about this bumper sticker on your car?
Well, I did. But I thought it was like this neighborhood watch kind of thing. I didn't know it meant they could actually search my car.
That's not exactly what you said to the police officer, is it, Tammy?
I was really nervous.
Do you remember what it was you said?
No.
You told him the bumper sticker had expired.
I was really nervous.
You were nervous. In fact, one of the reasons your father put the bumper sticker on the car was to deter you from using. Isn't that right, Tammy?
Yes.
And you knew that, didn't you, Tammy?
Yes.
What's up?
Why don't you tell me, Bobby? What's up?
I'm not following.
Do you think you're doing your best work in there?
Hey, I'm open to ideas if you got any.
Oh, you're open to ideas. How about an opening statement that runs to double digits syllable-wise? How about an aggressive cross-examination? How about you get it into evidence that the victim was on steroids at the time he was killed?
It was a strategic decision. There was no evidence.
Oh, bull. Your defense has been anemic at best. Helen Gamble is convinced you're tubing.
Excuse me?
She came to me as an officer of the court and asked for a mistrial. And I had half a mind to grant it.
Hey,
but
take me off if you don't like what I'm doing.
it's a little late for that now, isn't it?
You want to do my job?
No, I want you to do your job.
Hey, I go into that damn room day after day to defend people who deserve to rot. You think that's easy?
I expect you to give your client a defense.
He raped a kid, for God's sake. He was 13. You think I can just waltz in there and get him off? It isn't that easy, and I'm doing everything I can.
Your client didn't rape any kid. He killed a cop. That was another client who raped a kid.
Right. Whatever. That it? Can I go?
No, you can't. Bring in Eugene Young to give the closing.
What? You can't order that.
I can, and I just did. We'll continue this to tomorrow. Bring in Mr. Young.
I prepared my closing.
You're not doing it.
Your Honor.
I'm giving you an order, counsel. Eugene Young will give the closing.
The officer saw the most valid basis imaginable to search the vehicle. The decal said, "You have consent to search this car." The defendant had knowledge of the bumper sticker, the decal, and even if she didn't, what we look at for Fourth Amendment purposes is the officer's state of mind. In his mind, seeing that decal, he had a good faith basis to believe there was consent, end of issue. And as for defense counsel's outrage over this bumper sticker policy, we're trying to win a war here, Your Honor, and we're losing. 60% of the global drug market is in this country. That's staggering. If these bumper stickers seem like desperate measures, we are desperate. Here we have a town saying, hey, you know what? Let's help. Search our cars. We give you permission. If it'll stem drug traffic, if it'll save lives, search our cars. That's what her parents said when they attached that bumper sticker, which Tammy Rowe knew about. She waived her rights. The search was valid. The motion to suppress should be denied.
I had a law professor who would say, when people start to get scared enough, the first thing they'll sacrifice is their civil rights. And look what we have here. A whole town full of people slapping on bumper stickers saying, search our cars. Tomorrow, decals on the front doors, search our house. Coming soon, maybe a rights-free street or a town with signs at the border saying, if you cross the city lines, you waive 4th, 5th, 6th Amendment rights. Maybe one day a whole state will go for it. What are we doing? Are we all going mad? Mr. Carlton says, what's the big deal? This is happening all over. My response, my God. This is happening all over. In this day of rampant police abuse, we're actually saying to them, hey, do whatever you want. What is going on?
What the hell are you doing going to Swackheim?
Please don't yell at me.
I will yell. You go behind my back? That's defamation, Helen. You disparage somebody's professional skills, that's slander.
You want to sue me?
You think I won't? You think I won't?
All right, you're scaring me now.
We're friends, for God's sakes. You go to a judge accusing me of throwing a case? How could you?
Because we're friends.
Don't you ever, ever! Bobby, let's go. I need a second. Bobby, I said I need a second. And I said, let's go. Okay?
Fine.
The Fourth Amendment protects reasonable expectations of privacy. The law defines reasonable expectations of privacy as those society is prepared to protect. Does anyone know what they are? 2 years ago, I could tell you. Not now. We have all agreed to be searched so often when we travel, when we go to the ballpark, when we enter buildings, that I don't know what a reasonable expectation of privacy is anymore. Under the law, if Americans post signs in front of their homes inviting the police in to search, society no longer gives me an expectation of privacy in my home. God help us when it happens. As a matter of law, I find the defendant waived her Fourth Amendment rights if she knew about the sticker and drove anyway. But I think the prosecutor has to carry its burden that she absolutely did know. Ms. Rowe, I think you did. But since I can't be sure, I'm going to let what little doubt I have cut in your favor. I'm suppressing the search and dismissing the indictment. You dodged a bullet, young lady. We're adjourned.
I won. You won. Congratulations. Thank you, Miss Stringer. The next time I get caught, I am so definitely coming to you. Excellent.
We know Detective Bowers was killed with his own gun. The defendant, a convicted felon, admits he was desperate for drugs and was unhappy when he didn't get them. He was arrested at the scene, and he admits that there was some kind of physical altercation between him and the victim. The defense case, well, it wasn't just a lie, it was a mess. They offered no proof Detective Bowers was the aggressor, no evidence that there was a fight, no alternative theory even as to what happened. When the defense is this muddled, it means one thing. There is no defense. The evidence of this case supports only one conclusion. The defendant attacked the officer, took his gun, and murdered him.
Last thoughts.
Eugene, I got an answer for this. The jury needs to hear from me.
The judge, Bob.
Mr. Donnell, I believe Mr. Young is closing today.
I'm prepared to close, Your Honor.
Sidebar. I gave you an order, you son of a bitch.
The jury has no relationship to Eugene Young. If I don't close, it undermines my credibility. It undermines my client's defense. You guarantee him a new trial.
He's got one half guaranteed already.
You want me to do my job? Let me do it.
I'll close you down in a second if you
Thank you.
The closing argument is defense counsel's last chance to speak to you. When I began trying cases, I get nervous before a closing. Lately, though, I haven't felt nervous. I haven't felt anything. Except maybe numb. What Ms. Gamble said about the defense, she was right. It was muddled, terrible. The truth is, based on my client's record, his stupidity, I judged him guilty. It's the worst sin a lawyer can commit. My job is to fight. I'm supposed to fight the power of the state. I'm supposed to fight for justice. Mostly, I'm supposed to fight for the defendant. I didn't do that. I don't feel anything about that either, except maybe tired, you know? I am sick and tired of fighting these cases for these clients accused of these crimes. Somebody's got to do it, I get that. But this time it shouldn't have been me. To my client, all I can say is, I'm sorry, you know, you got screwed. As for you, members of the jury, the question is, did the evidence prove beyond reasonable doubt that this man committed murder? Clearly it didn't. Even with a half-assed defense, the prosecution can only guess at what happened. Nobody saw or heard anything. Can you imagine how much doubt there'd be if Mr. Johnson had a real defense? My client says he got into a struggle with somebody who he thought was a drug dealer, and the gun went off accidentally. He is a total piece of crap. But his version could be the truth. I don't know.
Did I do something wrong again?
No, Jamie. I want to apologize for the practical joke. I know I've been a little rough on you, and I'm sorry for that too. More importantly, I slipped into the courtroom and I heard your closing.
You did?
I think you have real talent. I want you to know that, and I want you to know that I know it.
I feel like we should hug.
We're not gonna hug, but congratulations on a well-earned victory. You'll be having many more of them.
Madam Foreperson, has the jury reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
The defendant will please rise. To the charge of murder in the first degree, I'll say you.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Earl Johnson, not guilty.
To the charge of murder in the second degree, I'll say you.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Earl Johnson, not guilty.
I gotta admit, Bobby, you were giving me pause there. But like always, in the end, I walk out the door.
Mr. Dunnell, Mr. Young, chambers, please. Congratulations. I'm sure you're feeling flush with victory. Bobby, I'm sitting you down.
What are you talking about?
You were extremely erratic during your rape trial. You were all over the place here. You briefly even forgot the crime which your client was charged with.
I won.
Because the state had no case, and the DA was too arrogant to charge manslaughter in the alternative. You're right, you won. Which means I can hardly take you to the Board of Bar Overseers. They'd never find you incompetent. But I can control what happens in this building. As of now, you're retired from trials. I'll be calling the chief judge shortly.
You can't do this. I won't let you.
Right now, it's a month. Push me, I'll make it 2. You're not well. Eugene, take him.
The rest will be good.
You think I've lost it?
I think that rape trial, or whatever Father Martin said to you, really shook you, Bobby.
I'm a criminal defense lawyer. It's not my fault if he rapes again. I'm just a lawyer. It's not my fault.
You need a rest. You're just tired. That's all, honey. You're just tired. Previously on the practice.
Okay, the search seems to be bogus. She was pulled over for rolling through a stop sign.
Who's sitting, do you know?
Judge Brentford? Why?
You're home.
I'm sorry?
Brentford is the flirting judge, and you've got blonde hair. All you have to do is smile at him. Big smile, over the top. If he thinks you think he's cute, he'll suppress on the spot.
What? Your Honor, we'd like to, waive reading, if that's all right.
Why are you so happy?
Just happy to be here, Your Honor.
Are you coming on to me?
I would never, as hard as it is to resist. I cannot believe you did that.
It was a joke, Jamie. Calm down.
You humiliated me.
I'm going to let what little doubt I have cut in your favor. I'm suppressing the search and dismissing the indictment.
Excellent.
You're telling me this now?
Normally, we like to present a united front. But Eleanor feels strongly that we should plead, and...
Why?
Basically, the media. On the evidence alone, I think our chances are okay. But the press is killing you. You're already guilty in the public's eye.
Jurors are instructed to disregard what they see and hear.
Of course they are, but these images have been on every broadcast, every night. Look at the pictures.
I don't need to see them again.
Stephen, to the extent that you're in denial, I think you do. I want you to really look. For the past week, leading every broadcast, I'm getting a very bad feeling.
But you think we can win this?
The case is circumstantial. On the evidence, I think we have a shot.
Then I'm going with you. No plea.
Kathy and I met freshman year. She lived on my hall in one of the dorms. After that, we got an apartment off campus. She was my best friend for 4 years.
Amy, why did you go see Dr. Barrett?
Well, we both decided to get breast implants as kind of a graduation present. We talked to a bunch of different doctors, but Kathy and Stephen had this connection.
They were a couple.
Oh, yes. Even though he was married. At first, it was just for the surgery, but Kathy had a thing about older guys.
How often did you see them together?
All the time. They went out at least a few nights a week. She was always talking about the restaurants they went to or how great it was at his house on the Cape. She said they were in love.
Did you ever see them fight?
I saw them argue. A lot. And the last time was a few nights before she was killed.
Could you hear what they were fighting about?
The same thing they always did. Kathy wanted Stephen to get a divorce. I didn't hear everything, but it was bad. She slapped him, and she told him to get the hell out. 2 days later, she was dead.
You never heard my client threaten Miss Vance, did you?
No,
You never saw him hit her or be violent with her in any way?
no.
And when you saw Miss Vance slap Dr. Barrett, how did he respond to that?
He didn't.
He didn't lose his temper? He didn't hit her back?
No, he just turned around and walked out.
Could you tell us how you heard that Miss Vance had been killed?
I got a phone call from Stephen the day she was found.
And how did he sound when you talked to him?
He was crying.
In your opinion, he was devastated. Isn't that what you told the police?
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming.
Well, you left me 6 messages.
You are such a beautiful woman. The newspapers make you look fatter.
Mr. Deeks.
I really needed to see you. You're the only lawyer who
Mr.
could
Deeks, I need to stop you. I read your indictment in the court file. I'm sorry, I'm not taking any criminal cases anymore, especially murder cases. There are many other lawyers.
Not like you.
Why am I different?
You killed somebody. You can understand what it feels like.
And it's in part because I'm still trying to deal with...
I killed somebody. I took a life. I need someone who understands.
Why?
Because I know there's something wrong with me. Something that just told me to do it. I know it's not the same as what you did. But if anyone could understand... Look, I don't want to go to jail for the rest of my life. If I could get into a hospital... I don't have much money. But I'll pay you everything I have.
Hi. You wanted to see me?
Yes, I did. I meant to grab you after last week's hearing. I wanted you to know that after a rather shaky start, I thought that you argued a persuasive motion.
Thank you. This was my first real victory, so I'm feeling excellent.
Yeah. A difficult issue, one on which I could have gone either way. Most judges, I might add, probably would have gone the other way.
Oh, well, I'm glad for my side that...
You got me. I thought perhaps you might like to grab some lunch.
Wouldn't that be, like, incredibly improper?
The case is over. Now, I take great pride in mentoring young lawyers. It's not something that's done often enough in the legal community.
Well...
I can't order you. That would be an abuse of my discretion, so let's just call it a request.
The defendant himself notified us that the victim was missing. Upon locating her car not far from his office, we conducted an area search.
Detective, could you tell us what you found?
In a wooded area behind the building, we located the body of the victim.
Identified as?
Catherine Vance. She had multiple stab wounds around her chest and defensive cuts on both of her hands. The body was naked, so we requested a rape kit be sent to the lab.
Do you know the result of those tests?
It was positive for semen inside the victim. The sample was a genetic match to the defendant.
My client told you he was involved with Catherine Vance?
Yes.
That they were having sexual relations?
Yes.
So she could have been killed by some stranger after having sex with my client. Is that possible, Detective?
Anything is possible. That doesn't mean that...
Thank you. Did you find the murder weapon?
No, the knife was never recovered.
And what about the victim's blood? Could you connect it with my client?
No.
So you searched his office, his house, his car, his clothes. Did you find any trace of the victim's blood?
No.
Does it make sense to you, Detective, that he would be so meticulous about the blood and physical evidence only to dump the body right behind his own office building?
Murders don't typically make sense.
He called the police. He led you to her car. He gave you a sample of his own DNA. All true?
Yes.
You understand I confessed?
I do, but you only confessed after they discovered the body in the trunk. If we can suppress the search, the confession goes out too. That would give us some leverage to make a deal, which we would need to get you in a hospital. Are you with me?
You can undo my confession?
Maybe.
But I'm willing to confess, if that is what...
I understand. But the problem with that is we would be left with no bargaining power. Can you appreciate that?
Yes, I just don't want to go to a prison. Anything to keep me out of prison.
I understand. Now, you answer only what I ask you, nothing more, because...
I strangled her.
Stanley, I know you're ill, and I know you want to get better.
Carol.
I'm sorry?
Her name was Carol. She worked in my building. She was very nice to me. I was a security guard and I killed her.
Listen to me. I will never succeed in keeping you out of prison if you don't do as I say. Do not be telling anybody else you strangled this girl. Are we clear?
Okay.
You're the DA on this?
Perfect, isn't it? I graduate to the rubber room after trying to put you away. 1 month on the happy farm, I'm back, only to find myself up against... Boom! Oh, that's what I call you. I used to give my defendants a one-word moniker. It's how I kept track. My name for you was Boom. Since you were a shooter.
I see. Listen.
Now I call you Techie, since you got off on a technicality. Which do you like better, Boom or Techie? Lindsay, I'm sort of half kidding. I'm trying to make light of my situation because I'm so deeply embarrassed over, Listen, I'm not going to give you a hug, but I'll try to be fair. More importantly, a noble officer of the court. Really.
Walsh, why would they put one of their top people on this?
Stanley, this is a murder case. You strangled somebody.
Look, I'll confess.
Don't start that again.
He is gonna go for prison.
Calm down.
What if I can give them other information? I can trade in exchange for getting in a hospital instead of jail.
What other information?
I did other things that they don't know about.
I don't want to know about it either. Look, let's tackle the suppression hearing and then go from there. Okay?
Carol.
What?
Her name was Carol.
I don't deny having the affair.
Doctor, did you see Kathy Vance the night she was killed?
Yes, she stopped by the office. That's where we would often meet. I work there at night when the staff is gone, and
Can you tell us what happened that particular night?
she came by a little after 9, hung around while I finished some work. After that, we opened up a bottle of wine. We made love.
In the office.
Yes.
And after?
She left. She said she had a party to go to. I walked her to the door. We said goodbye, and that was the last time that I saw her.
When did you realize something was wrong?
Later that night, when I left to go home, I saw her car was still in the parking lot. I knew that it didn't make any sense, but I thought perhaps she got a ride from a friend, so it didn't really bother me. Next day, her car was still there.
And what did you do?
Now I got concerned. I called her roommate, Amy Wyatt. She told me that Kathy hadn't been home all night. I hung up the phone. I immediately called the police. They found her later that day.
Dr. Barrett, did you kill Kathy Vance?
No. I cared about Kathy very much. I have done everything in my power to help the police. I swear I don't know what happened to her. I wish to God that I did.
You recognize this bottle, Doctor?
Looks like a prescription bottle for painkillers.
A prescription you wrote for Catherine Vance, correct?
Yes, Kathy was still experiencing some discomfort. Pain medication was an appropriate treatment.
Well, according to her autopsy results, she wasn't taking any pain medication. In fact, there were no medications found in her system.
I don't know why that would be.
Doctor, this bottle is half empty. It was found in your desk, in your office.
She must have left them there.
Well, I'm sure she did because you were the one who was taking the pills.
That's absolutely false.
I have here 7 prescriptions written by you, all in the name of Catherine Vance. They were all filled in different locations, all in the last few months. Why so many prescriptions, Doctor? We also ran some new tests on your blood sample. Would you care to amend your answer now, Doctor?
Okay. Look, I have a problem. She was getting the pills for me. But you're talking about my addiction. That doesn't make me a murderer.
Why didn't you tell us, Stephen?
Sorry. I was trying to protect myself. I knew how it would look.
Now I'm with Eleanor. We need to think about taking a plea.
A plea? Of what?
Murder too.
I didn't kill anyone.
Well, it looks very much like you did. You were last seen with her. Your semen was found in her. And she was in the woods behind your office.
Someone killed her after she left the office.
Stephen, we put you up there so you would look like a responsible doctor. The kind of person incapable of committing a crime. You came off that stand a drug-addicted liar. I agree with Eugene. We at least have to think about a plea.
I didn't kill her, Eleanor. That's the truth. I'm not gonna plead to second-degree murder.
What do you mean you had lunch with him?
I just...
The judge who just handled your motion?
Yes. He asked me yesterday. I felt I better not refuse.
You better not refuse.
Well, he said it was a request, but he said it in a way like there would be repercussions.
So you went to lunch?
Yes.
And what happened?
Nothing. We had lunch, talked about the law, seemed pretty innocent, and then it was over. And then he asked me out for a drink.
And what did you say?
I said I couldn't. I had work, and maybe tomorrow.
Would you like me to go to him?
No. God. No.
Well, this is a treacherous thing. The last thing a young attorney needs.
I'll call it off.
You want me to go with you?
No. I will tell him no.
I saw a vehicle stopped on the side of the road. At first, I thought it was a police car because of the lights on the roof and the way it was painted.
Did you see anyone near the vehicle?
The defendant. He was in what looked like a policeman's uniform and was standing at the rear of the car. The trunk was open and he had a flashlight, so I assumed he was trying to change a flat tire.
What did you do?
I pulled over myself to see if I could help. That's when I realized he wasn't one of us. He was a security guard for a private company.
And what happened after you saw him, officer?
Well, the minute he saw me, he slammed the trunk, like he didn't want me to see inside. So naturally, I got suspicious. I asked him what's going on. He told me he was just having a cigarette. Company wouldn't allow him to smoke in the car, only I didn't see any cigarettes.
He was acting in a furtive and suspicious manner?
Objection?
Sustain.
Were you afraid he might go for a weapon?
Objection.
Mr. Walsh.
I tried to follow up with a few more questions. Where he worked, what shift he was on, only he wouldn't say anything. He just stood there. And then he tried to leave.
Did you let him go?
No. I could tell something was wrong, so I asked him to open up the trunk, and he did.
And what was in the trunk?
I found a woman, a body. It was lying on its side in a curled-up position. There were bruises all around the neck, the apparent victim of strangulation. It was later I learned it was Carol Dalton.
You asked him to open the trunk, or told him to?
It was a request.
Where was your weapon?
It was drawn.
So it was a request while you were pointing a gun at him?
Yes.
You didn't know there was a body in the trunk, did you?
Not before you opened it, no.
Didn't see blood on the car or the defendant's clothes?
No.
What about sounds from inside? Did you hear screaming or cries for help?
Obviously not. She was dead.
So as I understand your testimony, if he had had cigarettes, you wouldn't have searched his trunk.
That's not what I said. I testified he was acting suspiciously.
Because he didn't have cigarettes and was evasive about where he worked.
He wouldn't answer any of my questions.
So you searched his trunk because he chose not to talk.
Your client had a dead woman in the trunk of his car. Bottom line, I was right.
Is it your testimony when you asked him to open the trunk, you suspected he had a dead woman inside?
I knew he had something.
You knew he had something, just not cigarettes.
Now what?
We'll make summations to the judge. If we win, like I said, we're in a position...
What if we lose?
Then we'll either plead or go to trial.
So maybe I have better negotiation power now. Maybe we can make a deal now.
Stanley, they're not willing to deal now. And even if they were, you have good Fourth Amendment issues here. My advice would be to play this hearing out.
Okay.
Commonwealth has one rebuttal witness, Your Honor. We call Margot Barrett.
Objection. Margot Barrett enjoys spousal privilege. The Commonwealth
And Mrs. Barrett has the right to exercise it, not Mr. Young's or his clients. Margot Barrett is willing to testify.
She can't testify about private conversations.
That's not why we're calling her.
Approach.
This is definitely unfair surprise.
She's on the witness list.
Ours, not yours.
Point is, you're prepared for her.
No, we are not.
Have you interviewed this woman?
Yes.
Then what's the problem?
The problem is it's unfair surprise, and they...
I'm only calling her to impeach.
All right, look. We'll suspend for the day so defense can get ready. Tomorrow we'll start with Mrs. Barrett. Now step back.
We're adjourned.
What the hell is she going to say?
No idea.
Your Honor, we can all guess that my client likely murdered a beautiful young woman, and he went to that park to dispose of her body. But like it or not, that has nothing to do with this hearing. Officer Hope saw my client standing by his car. He didn't see any blood, didn't hear any screams, nothing to justify searching the vehicle. Slamming a trunk isn't probable cause. Refusing to talk isn't probable cause. Acting nervous isn't probable cause. I know it offends our sense of justice to free a man who has perhaps committed murder. But the courts have said it offends us more to let the police get away with unreasonable searches. This is Criminal Procedure 101.
This search was nothing but reasonable. It was late at night, in a deserted park. There was no reason for the defendant to be there, and the reason he gave was clearly a lie. Imagine being there that night. Imagine seeing him race to that trunk, slam it down, then refuse to answer the most basic questions. The nervous voice, the lack of eye contact, the fact that he tried to flee the scene. The defendant was acting like a criminal, someone in the process of committing a crime. Officer Hope had probable cause to believe a crime was occurring, and the evidence was inside that trunk. He was right. And that may not decide the question, but it certainly tells you he was reading the signs. Miss Dole wants to talk about offending justice. She's asking you to set a murderer free.
Your husband testified that when he went home the night of Catherine Vance's death, he wasn't bothered. Mrs. Barrett, did he seem unbothered to you?
No. He came home that night, and he seemed agitated.
Agitated?
Yes. And he had just taken a shower before coming home, which I felt was very odd.
Did you ask him what was wrong?
Yes, he said nothing. But
what?
From my perspective, it seems something traumatic had happened.
Mrs. Barrett, do you think your husband killed...
Objection. Sustained.
I have nothing further.
Did you call the police with any of your suspicions?
No. He's my husband. I
Oh,
was
he's
hoping
your
to
husband now. You said he took a shower. Is it your testimony that he never showered at work before coming home?
No. He sometimes...
Is it your testimony that he never came home from work upset?
No, but here it was
Is it your testimony that
Ask that the witness be allowed to respond.
She answered my question. Can you describe for this court your marriage, Mrs. Barrett?
It's rocky.
Rocky? You've talked about divorce, haven't you?
Yes.
Well, with a divorce, you could get half. If he should go to prison, you basically could spend it all.
Objection.
Is that what this is? You turn on your husband
Objection.
and stop? This is cross-examination.
I'll allow it.
My colleague, Eleanor Front, talked to you many times. Why didn't you ever mention that your husband seemed agitated that night?
Because,
you
as
hadn't
I
thought
told...
of it yet?
Objection.
Where were you that night?
Here we go.
Sorry, but when we interviewed you, you told us you had no information, and here you sit today with information. I guess that can happen when a conviction can give you access to over $2 million.
Objection!
Withdrawn. Nothing further.
I'm afraid I'm a little confused, Jamie.
Well, I just think since you were the judge on my case, and I did begin the case with some serious flirting, to avoid even the appearance of impropriety, we probably shouldn't be seen having a drink together.
Are you saying you'd rather get it privately?
No. I'm saying we probably shouldn't get it at all. We shouldn't be social.
Were you flirting with me because you were interested, or you simply trying to influence my decision?
Well...
Because it was the latter. Even though you didn't influence me, I should nevertheless probably vacate my decision and remand the matter to another judge to, like you say, avoid even the appearance of impropriety. Should I do that?
Now it feels like you're threatening me to undo your ruling, in which case my client...
I'm merely following up on your implied allegation. If you think there's any impropriety, it would be my duty to vacate and hand the matter to another judge.
I don't feel there's any impropriety.
You sure?
Yes. I'm very sure.
Because if a lawyer before me even questions whether I've stepped over the line...
I'm not questioning.
Okay. Then I can't see any problem with us having a drink together. I would tell you if I thought so.
What happened?
He just wigged out, but we call a paramedic.
Lindsay! Lindsay! Lindsay!
Stanley, I'm right here. I'm right here.
I want to plead. I can't take the chance. I want to plead.
Stanley, you need to calm down.
I want to plead.
If they let go of you, can you stay calm?
Yes.
Go ahead. You okay?
I need to talk to you alone.
Handcuff him and cuff his leg to the table.
No.
Then I don't stay in this room alone with you. Simple as that.
Okay.
Stand up.
That's it. We'll watch through the glass.
Thank you.
The reason that I was so desperate to have you as my attorney, you're in a unique position to bargain for me.
Why?
Your old firm. It's on another case that I can help the police with.
The police solved that one, Stanley. I don't...
No, they didn't. I killed that woman.
I beg your pardon?
Kathy Vance. I stabbed her, threw her in the woods. I am willing to confess to that crime and this one here if they agree to put me in a hospital instead of prison.
You killed Kathy Vance?
Yes.
And that's why you wanted me? Because of my old firm?
And I know you're friends with the DA, Helen Gamble. You can make it happen.
The judge is back.
Oh my God.
Look. What you have to give them, you'll still have it after this ruling. You might as well take your chances with Hiller. The search was bad. Let's just see what she says.
Be seated.
I have spent the past 3 hours trying to conceive of a way that I can uphold the search of the defendant's trunk and the ensuing confession. I failed. This wasn't made incident to an arrest. It had nothing to do with trying to stop the suspect from obtaining a weapon. We've got nothing plain sight. This was warrantless and, simply put, unconstitutional. It sickens me to squash it, because the result... This officer needs to be sent immediately back to the academy. The search and confession are hereby suppressed, the charges are dismissed, and the defendant, I'm horrified to say, is free to go. We are adjourned.
What happened?
You're free. She threw out the search and the confession.
I can just walk out?
Yes, but you still want to help the police on that other matter and get some help.
There's no need to now, right? I'm free.
Right.
Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you.
What do you mean you couldn't get out of it?
He kind of tricked me.
Tricked you how?
He sort of implied that he would undo his ruling, though he was careful the way he said it. And he basically had me insisting there was no impropriety. And look, the guy's a judge. He's smarter than me.
Jamie.
Don't worry. I know how to dump guys and flatter them at the same time. I'll have one drink and I'll wiggle out of the situation.
This isn't a frat boy. He's a judge.
I can handle him. I can.
Is he threatening you in any way?
No.
Jamie, you're walking down a path here. This is your career. And it's you.
I can handle it.
He was the last person to see her alive. Her body was found behind his office building, with his semen inside of her. They were recently seen fighting. She had slapped him. The defendant's own wife knew something was wrong that night. He came home agitated. And then we learn he's a drug addict. Maybe Catherine Vance was going to expose him, ruin his marriage, ruin his career. We don't know. We can't. Catherine Vance is dead. We do know the defendant took the stand and lied. All the defense has offered is the defendant's word. And he takes the stand and lies.
Dr. Barrett was afraid to admit his addiction because he knew it would hurt his career. But there's no evidence it caused him to kill Kathy Vance. There's no evidence she even made any threats to go public. My client did everything he could to help the police. He called them to say the victim was missing. He gave them permission to search everything. He even provided a blood sample. Someone else could have killed Kathy Vance. Someone outside who saw her leave. All their evidence, her being there that night, the semen, it proves the affair. It doesn't prove murder. And as for the wife, suddenly coming forward saying things didn't seem right, she had a motive to lie. She had 2 million reasons. She never told the police or defense counsel that Dr. Barrett seemed agitated. She manufactured that later when she tumbled to the idea that she could profit by putting him in prison. She got even. For all we know, maybe she was hiding in the bushes that night, waiting for Catherine Vance to come out. We don't know.
It's not often the winner comes in to complain.
I'm not complaining. And this is about a completely unrelated matter. It's just, I respect you more than anyone on interpreting the law. And I have a client who committed a crime somebody else stands to be convicted for.
And?
And do I have any recourse to cure the injustice? I'm sure the answer's no, but...
Then why ask the question?
Is the answer yes?
In 49 other states, your hands are tied. In Massachusetts, there is a provision. In Rule 1.6, it allows an attorney to break the privilege to keep an innocent man from going to prison.
Do you have a case?
No, because there aren't any. There's never been a decision because no attorneys ever invoked the provision.
Why not?
You know the answer to that. Privilege is the bedrock principle of criminal justice. There may be an exception on paper, but no defense attorney's ever been willing to use it. Rightfully so.
But I can. I have the discretion.
That's right. But Lindsay, you'd be signing your own career death warrant. You'll be news, a pariah with every other attorney, not just criminal. What type of crime do you have knowledge of?
It's a murder.
Ah. Why am I not surprised? The reason this provision has never been invoked, most lawyers, most judges, including me, think it's wrong. A client's trust is a client's trust. A lawyer doesn't break it.
It isn't always that easy.
You think it was easy for me to kick Stanley Deeks? You came to me for advice. Technically, you can reveal what you know. Ethically, I say you don't.
I don't know about you, but I'm pretty hungry.
It's only 5 o'clock.
I know, but let's head over to Jasper's. You can get a bite. It's not too far.
Okay.
Best thing about being a judge is the ability to say, day's over, folks. Sometimes think about going back into private practice, and then I think I'd miss the control too much. Door's open. Of course, what I'd really like is to captain a boat. That's the control I'm looking for. Be out in the open sea, sail to Nantucket. What's wrong? Jamie?
I can't get a drink with you. I'm sorry, but having appeared before you on a case, I think it's wrong. If you feel the need to vacate your decision, that's your call. My call? I'm not getting this drink. Good night, Your Honor.
Will the defendant please rise? Mr. Foreman, has the jury reached a unanimous verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
What say you?
Commonwealth versus Stephen Barrett. On the charge of murder in the first degree, we find the defendant, Stephen Barrett, guilty.
The defense moves to set aside the verdict.
Denied. Security, take charge of the defendant. Members of the jury, you're dismissed with the thanks of this court. This matter is now adjourned.
We're gonna review the record and find grounds to appeal.
Okay.
You can go. I'll handle this.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
Lindsay.
Hey, I came to bring you luck. Sorry.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Miss Pratt.
Eugene Young will be fielding all your questions. I've got no comment. I'm sorry.
You rejected plea offer. Miss New, will your firm handle the appeal? Do you have anything to say to the jury? I will tell you that he was addicted to drugs.
It's not like I thought we would win.
But what?
I don't know. Something just tells me this one was innocent.
Any grounds for appeal?
I don't know.
You stinker!
I thought they said 9 o'clock.
They did.
Do we really think they're going to settle now 12 hours before we start?
That's when they all settle.
Maybe we should put our jackets on. I read an article. Lawyers look more formidable in their coats.
Jimmy, they're coming in here to either settle or not. I doubt it'll turn on whether or not we're wearing jackets.
They're here.
Show them in.
Sorry we're a little late.
It's okay. Please.
We're declining to make an offer.
Any offer?
Look, how you got past summary judgment still remains a mystery.
The point is, we did.
Eugene, you would have rejected the number we were toying with anyway. But the feeling is that the precedent of any number would be exponentially devastating. If every problem drinker starts suing us...
This problem drinker is dead.
Rebecca, it's not that we don't sympathize.
You just won't cough up a nickel.
Look me in the eye and tell me that you would advise my client to settle here.
All right. Look, you came all the way over here at 9:30 at night. Is there room for negotiation, or are you just messengers for bad news?
The latter.
$125,000 sealed, no admission of liability.
We can't, on principle.
This was a kid. He died of alcoholism. Your client bears some responsibility, and you won't take it on principle?
Okay, look, this need not get ugly. We'll see you tomorrow.
Do the research on us, Mark, would you?
Meaning?
When we try cases, it gets ugly.
Eugene, this isn't criminal. This is a civil case. Lawyers tend to be, what's the word? Civil.
I don't think you scared them.
He began to have a problem in high school in his senior year.
A drinking problem?
Yes, I mean, it wasn't that he was terribly into parties. Michael was an athlete. But it started with beer, and it sort of shifted into hard alcohol. His mother and I got him into a treatment program.
Was this successful?
Yes, for a year or two. But then in college, he got into the frat scene. There was...
What happened?
His grades suffered. He didn't graduate. His friends abandoned him. We did an intervention in 1999. In April 2000, he was released. He spiraled down from there. He was living on the streets. He died of alcohol poisoning that spring.
And you're blaming Porter's Brewery for your son's death?
He primarily drank their beer in high school. I'm certainly aware that there were other beers, but for the most part, it was Portis.
Did he have other difficulties?
None. Michael was an athlete. He admired athletes. He watched all those beer commercials they run during the games. He saw his favorite ball players endorsing Portis and other beers like they were nutrition drinks. These companies targeted my son and other young kids. Drinking is cool. Drinking will get you girls. Well, it is not cool. Drinking killed my son.
Is it your testimony, sir, your son thought beer was a nutritional drink when he began consuming it?
That question reflects the very arrogance of your client who refuses to take responsibility for contributing to a young man's death.
Do you take any responsibility, Mr. Barry? Your son was underage drinking illegally. Let me ask you, do you drink?
In moderation.
Responsibly?
Yes.
Your son was raised in a household where his parents drank moderately and responsibly.
Yes.
And when your son entered his high school years, did you ever talk to your son about the dangers of drinking?
Many times.
You feel you adequately informed him as to all of the risks?
Look, no matter what parents say, it is hard to compete with the images of fun and social acceptance that is being marketed by the alcohol industry.
My question is, do you feel you adequately informed your son as to the potential risks of consuming alcohol?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. And I'm very sorry for your loss.
I thought alcohol companies were exempt from these lawsuits.
No one is exempt from fraud. They lie when they say they don't market to kids.
Can I help you?
Yes. I'm looking for Eleanor Frutt.
I'm Eleanor Frutt.
Hello, my name is Stephen Marshall. I'd like to hire you. Is there some place we can talk? I guess I should just get right to it. I'm the warden of Goffstown Correctional Facility in New Hampshire. One of my inmates is Denise Freeman. She shot 2 young boys who were playing in the park. She's scheduled to be executed next week. It's the first execution in New Hampshire in many years, so maybe you read about it.
I hadn't, actually. How can I help?
I'd like you to stop it.
Her execution?
Yes. I read where you got a death sentence overturned several years ago. I drove down here on the chance that you could possibly work your magic again.
You're the warden trying to halt the execution.
Yes.
Are you against the death penalty?
No, not at all. No. In fact, I think we should employ it more often. But we shouldn't be killing Denise Freeman. She's not the same person who committed those crimes. I know they all claim that, but she really isn't. That's why I drove down here. To convince you to help save an extraordinary woman.
Oh, don't you even dare.
This is Sheila Berry. She was just awarded Sister of the Year.
Shut up.
North America only. She competes for World Sister of the Year next month.
Yeah, and I score special endurance points for having you as my little brother.
Let me tell you a little bit about Sheila.
Let's not.
She makes up her own words playing Scrabble.
No, I don't.
That was your brother, Michael.
Yes.
Does that video fairly reflect his personality?
He had an amazing sense of humor. He was shy. You don't get that from the video. He was very shy. I think that was one of the reasons he drank at parties. Socially, he was a little uncomfortable until he got to know people.
When was the last time you saw your brother?
About a month before he died.
Where'd you see him?
My apartment. He came to ask me for money. He was living on the streets.
Did you loan him money?
I told him he could move in with me if he wanted to. But I wasn't gonna give him money so he could just go buy liquor. I begged him to get help. But he just walked away. That was the last time I ever saw him.
I have nothing further.
No questions, Your Honor.
It isn't exactly great timing for us to be taking a pro bono case.
I'm not saying I definitely want to take it on, but I'd like to meet with her. See who she is, what she is.
She's in New Hampshire?
Yes. I thought I would drive up there with Jamie this afternoon. Evidently, she runs this Talk Straight program for troubled kids that... The warden came here personally. I really think I should go.
I'll say yes with one word of caution. Protect yourself.
I'm sure there'll either be a guard or a partition or...
I'm not talking physically. You're about to emotionally invest in somebody who, odds are, will be dead in a week.
I won't invest emotionally.
Right. Protect yourself.
The cause of death was alcohol poisoning.
Doctor, Michael Berry went in and out of many treatment programs. Why couldn't he be cured?
Because he was addicted.
You mean he lacked the will to stop?
That oversimplifies it. People think alcoholics lack willpower. I wish it were that easy. The brain chemistry is changed. Telling a severely impaired alcoholic not to drink is like telling someone not to go to the bathroom. We're talking about an overwhelming urge related to a bodily function.
Come on, Doctor. It's not like he had no choice here. He chose to drink initially.
Of course he did. Like smokers choose to smoke, like people choose to use cocaine. But once the addiction took hold, he was robbed of his free will. That kid was dying on the street, homeless, for God's sake. Does anybody think he chose that?
Many alcoholics do recover.
As do many smokers. That doesn't mean the addiction's not real.
But, Doctor, you make it sound like an involuntary affliction, when in fact...
I make it sound like a disease, Counsel. The very definition of disease is an involuntary disability, which Michael Berry had.
May I be allowed to finish my questions?
You may, but if you wrongfully restate my answers, I'll interrupt.
Doctor, this isn't a rugby match. What is the likelihood, if one drinks moderately, that he or she will become addicted to alcohol?
I can't answer that. No one can. Alcohol affects people differently. We need to do more studies, which they haven't done.
In your experience, if someone drinks moderately, how likely is it?
It's extremely likely that young kids won't drink moderately.
If a person drinks responsibly in moderation, he or she is not likely to become addicted.
That would be fair.
Thank you.
I need you to look at me, Janice.
You see, we're on a bit of a time crunch here. I'm scheduled to be killed next week. If I'm gonna help you, I need to make fast progress. Now, how about we let that anger give way to greed, then? You will probably be the last person who gets to talk to me. You could write an article. Get paid for it. Lots of good things that come from you talking to me. Janice, it all starts with your eyes finding mine.
I can't tell you how many kids whose lives she's rerouted. She connects with every single one. She'll get to this one, too. You watch.
All the appeals are exhausted?
Every one. There's a petition for a stay with the Supreme Court. That's not going to happen. Look, as I said, I'm pro-death penalty. But this one... she's something.
The problem is I am also a murderer. At least I was before I got on the medication. I shot a 13-year-old boy playing on a jungle gym. And then I pointed the gun and shot his 11-year-old brother. I was every bit the monster the prosecution made me out to be. You need to be clear about that.
You mentioned medication. What medication?
I've been on a psychotropic cocktail for the last 8 years.
And before you took it?
Monster, you weren't listening.
Did you argue diminished capacity at the trial?
Yes. It failed. The jury saw me sane since I was medicated for the trial also.
Forced?
Sorry?
The medication you took for the trial, was it forced?
Well, I had to be. I had no capacity to consent. Why?
I'm just searching for an angle.
Well, the insanity one's been tried. We need to come up with something else.
You seem Well, most death row inmates have a little desperation going, especially as the day gets closer.
Is there a way you want me to act?
No, but...
You know, the funny thing is, there is a calm that comes with it. Actually, I'm a prolific warrior. But now, you know, I'm not afraid of getting cancer, financial security, problems in the Middle East. None of that gets to me. I'm gonna be dead in a week. There's a calm that comes. Underneath the cool, I'm gonna be dead in a week. Do I really need to make a showing of desperation?
Alcohol addiction is both genetic and social. Some of the predisposition is in the brain chemistry. Some of it obviously is environmental, how a person lives.
But doctor, my question is it possible a person can become addicted to alcohol without drinking excessively?
We have not proven it, but my opinion is it's absolutely possible.
How?
Well, the limbic system in the brain is very different in people who suffer from alcoholism. How do we know this? Autopsies. Problem is, we can't be sure what came first. Is it the alcoholism that altered the brain, or is it the abnormal brain that caused the alcoholism? It may very well be that many people are born alcoholics waiting to happen. Michael Berry could have been one of them.
Have you found a single person who became an alcoholic who didn't drink excessively?
No. But the reason he drank heavily could be the genetic makeup of his brain. That's what people don't get.
Did you study the brain of Michael Berry?
No, because no autopsy was ever done.
So you have no idea as to the genetic makeup of the plaintiff?
That's correct.
Hey, how's it going? So far, so good. Case is still a long shot, but we'll see.
Your brother?
Yeah. Hard to believe. Almost 9 years since he died.
He was an alcoholic. Is that in play at all?
Did you come in to check on the case for me?
I know you fully appreciate the difficulty of the case. I do wonder whether that appreciation could get blurred by a sense of mission.
I'm not on a mission. Did alcohol help kill my brother? Yes. But that hardly puts me in a small group. Half the adult population in this country has alcoholism in their family.
That's a point worth arguing.
I plan to.
Eugene, I feel like it's getting harder and harder for you and me just to have a conversation.
Bobby, you didn't come in here to have a conversation. You came in here worried about my objectivity because of how my brother... Like you say, I have a full appreciation of the difficulty of the case, and if an offer does come in, I'll recommend settlement to the client.
Okay.
I think the biggest problem with my insanity defense was that it played so stereotypically. I heard voices. I thought they were a mandate from God. You know, there's somebody like me on Dateline once a week. I think the jury just went, yeah, next.
And the actual diagnosis?
Paranoid schizophrenia.
Do you have a memory of the killings?
They haven't found the medication yet to erase memory.
Can you tell me what you remember?
Can you tell me how that's relevant?
Denise, as you said to that young girl, we're a little crunched for time. So I need you to let me be the lawyer and trust me to decide what's relevant. If the memory's vivid, I want to know. If not, I want to know that too. Tell me what you remember.
In the moment, time slowed down. I saw the bullets travel. I saw them floating through the air like feathers. They hit the skulls. Two incredibly sweet little boys. These floating feathers just made their heads go. Wasn't vivid enough?
Alcoholism is something we all need to be concerned with, and we are at Portis.
I guess the question becomes, how do you manifest that concern?
First, by putting warnings on every single one of our products. But I'll tell you something, we probably should do a better job of publicizing the health benefits.
The benefits?
Absolutely. Studies now show that having a drink or two of alcohol every day can help fight heart disease. Evidence is now coming in that it can even promote mental health and possibly prevent Alzheimer's. Some doctors are recommending to their patients that they consume moderate amounts of alcohol to promote general health, well-being, and longevity.
Is the defendant testifying in the narrative?
Mr. Carroll, a young man died here.
And it's a tragedy. My heart goes out to his family. I had a nephew who was killed by a drunk driver, and I'm angry about it to this day. But I'll tell you, this country as a whole is vigilant about this. We have mothers against drunk drivers. We have PSAs on every channel. In our own advertisements, we warn about drinking and driving. This isn't some obscure, latent peril lurking in the bushes. The message on irresponsible drinking is out there, and it's been out there for many, many years. Our industry has spent millions of dollars on that message, and I'll tell you something else. The majority of Americans get it.
Objection!
Mr. Grundle, you need to ask your client a question. He only need respond to that question.
Mr. Carroll, what about the specific problem of underage drinking?
We fund numerous educational awareness programs, more than any other industry. We pay to train vendors not to sell to kids. We agree with the law, which raises the legal drinking age from 18 to 21, and let's think about that. You can vote, you can fight in a war, you're considered an adult for the purpose of the law in every single way at the age of 18. And we still say, whoa, we're going to make you wait an additional 3 years before you can drink. Why? Because we recognize the need for maturity and responsibility. In fact, the only thing left for us to do would be to ban alcohol altogether. We tried that in this country once, and it didn't work.
Run that by me again.
It's not as crazy as it sounds.
Just the same once more.
Okay. She stops taking the meds, in which case she regresses quickly, I might add, according to the doctors. Once she becomes schizophrenic again, we get the diagnosis of insanity. Supreme Court has expressly held the 8th Amendment prohibits executing the insane.
They also held you can force medicate to make a person sane.
They upheld forced medication to make a defendant competent for trial, not necessarily for punishment.
Bobby, I can't think of anything else.
You want to take her off the meds?
And try and stop the execution on the grounds that she's insane. At a minimum, it could buy us time. The death penalty is vulnerable. Time is time. What do we have to lose?
How much money does the alcohol industry make per year?
A lot.
You're a major manufacturer. I'm sure you can get more specific than a lot. Can't you, Mr. Carroll?
It's in the billions.
It's close to 120 billion a year. 120 billion.
Which contributes to a healthier U.S. economy, Mr. Young, and employs hundreds of thousands of Americans.
Thank you for that. And how much money does your company spend to build or contribute to treatment facilities for alcohol abuse?
We make beer, Mr. Young. We're not in the hospital business.
The answer is zero.
No, it is not. We donate a great deal of money to prevention programs.
A great deal? more or less than 1% of what you spend promoting alcohol use?
Hey, since it's voluntary...
Less than 1%?
I'd have to check the figures.
Well, I have some figures. Your industry takes in $120 billion a year. 15 million Americans struggle with alcoholism.
Look, our product is only dangerous when used excessively. So is aspirin, for that matter.
Aspirin? You're just like aspirin?
You understand my point, Counsel. When used responsibly...
You advertise to young people?
Not underage, we don't.
Your key target demo is 21 to 25-year-olds, isn't it?
Which is perfectly legal.
What research do you do to make sure those ads intended for 21-year-olds don't influence 19-year-olds?
Look.
Are you aware, sir, that underage kids are drinking your beer?
We take every step to ensure that doesn't happen, but parents have to take some responsibility.
You're aware minors drink your beer.
We're aware that it happens sometimes.
Sometimes? You're aware underage kids are responsible for 12% of the consumption of all your beer, aren't you?
That figure is debatable.
And that over 90% of all the alcohol consumed by underage drinkers is for binging. Is that debatable?
We do not target underage drinkers.
Well, according to the Surgeon General, over half of all high school juniors and seniors drink, but you don't target them.
We make it our business to curtail underage drinkers.
Really? Besides those sex and alcohol commercials, what else?
Objection.
What the hell do you do to curtail it?
Objection.
Mr. Young.
2/3 of underage drinkers buy their own beer, Mr. Carroll.
That's a vendor problem,
Oh,
not...
I see. It's not your problem? You just make the stuff and put the logo on blimps?
Objection.
Mr. Young.
This kid couldn't so much as watch a baseball game
Mr.
without
Young.
hearing your jingle, Mr. Carroll, and he's dead. He's dead.
Mr. Young, that's enough.
And you sit here testifying nothing you can do. Nothing you can do for Michael Berry.
Go off my medication?
The Supreme Court has said we can't execute the insane. It's our last best shot.
Up until now, we have argued, don't kill her, she's not the monster she used to be, and now you want me to go off my medication so that you can argue, don't kill her, she is the monster she used to be?
Yes. And then after that, we'll argue that it's cruel and unusual to keep you insane, and we'll hopefully get you on the meds again.
That sounds
perverse. It is. And they will no doubt try to force medicate you. It's been upheld in the past, but I have a better chance at beating it. How long after you stop taking the medication before?
It won't take long.
Okay. I'm gonna draft up the documents stating your intent. I'm gonna need you to sign them while you're still competent.
My intent being?
You don't want the meds under any circumstances.
I will go crazy, Helen. You do realize that.
Alcohol is part of the American culture. I know it. I get it. We indulge openly, proudly even. We toast at weddings. We drink to our health. We drink in front of our kids, be it eggnog at Christmas, mint julep at Kentucky Derby parties, St. Patrick's Day. And we romanticize it, don't we? Win a World Series or a Super Bowl, out comes the champagne on national television. Our best athletes, role models for physical fitness. Watch them drink. Hey, it's our culture. Like I said, I get it. But you know what? They never really warn you about the downside. 15 million Americans are alcoholics. 15 million. And the statistics, they go on and on. It's the #1 teenage drug problem. The #1 drug problem in college. 1/4 of all emergency room admissions, almost 1/3 of all suicides, 1/2 of all homicides, rapes, 1/3 of traffic fatalities, alcohol related. It is the leading cause of mental retardation, fetal alcohol syndrome. The cost to us, the taxpayer, and our economy, over $185 billion in lost productivity. Healthcare expenses, crime, car crashes, and other costs. The cost to Margaret and Joshua Berry, their son. The cost to Sheila Berry, her brother. This was a decent kid, B student, shy, good athlete, who started having a few beers with his high school buddies, who developed an addiction to a drug that ended up taking his life. This industry makes upward of $100 billion a year, a lot of it coming from kids, children, and however much they deny it, they target those kids with their advertising. They buy time on the programs these kids watch. We've all seen the ads. They're funny. Drinking is hip. It's cool. It's now. It kills. It kills. And they just take the money, a lot of it. During the course of this 3-day trial, the alcohol industry made another $1 billion. Now, we're a capitalist society. Like I said, I get it. But when you contribute to the death of human life, over 100,000 lives every year, how can you not take some responsibility? It can't always be about the money. That's what I don't get.
Mr. Young says we've committed fraud. He's wrong. We sell an honest product honestly. We are not tobacco. The tobacco company lied about the risks associated with smoking. The risks of drinking have been known for thousands of years, and so have the benefits. We drink with our friends to relax, to celebrate. There are social benefits to responsible drinking, and we all know it. The problem is with alcohol abuse. And the question is, what do we do about it? What we've done so far is to pass a multitude of regulations. My client has complied with every one of them. We have raised the drinking age. We've mandated warnings on every bottle of beer. We now have dram shop acts making people liable who serve alcohol. You could be sued today just for throwing a party. We have done everything humanly possible. In truth, the only thing left to do is ban alcohol. And we've already tried that once with spectacular failure. Because, as Mr. Young correctly points out, drinking is in our culture. We're always going to have that cocktail. And no jury, no act of Congress will ever prevent it. I'll say this. Mr. Young is disingenuous when he says that we're all about money, and they're not. They are in here today asking you to award them money. Well, I won't be disingenuous. We're a business. Lawsuits, judgments, they become a cost of doing business. And I don't have to tell you who that cost always gets passed back to. You can't bring back Michael Berry. I so wish you could. But all you can really do, unfortunately, is raise the price of beer. Because, like he told you, it's our culture.
We going to court when?
Next week. Obviously, the more you regress, the better our chances.
And if we lose, it's better to die crazy than sane. Yes. Listen, given that, I probably should put in my goodbyes to people now, right? Assuming that by this time next week, I may not even know who my friends are.
How are you feeling now?
Anxious, little. Nervous, I guess. I'm not sure what from. I don't know if it's because I have come off my medication or Whether it's because I'm getting closer to a lethal injection, but either way, it's worse than the root canal, isn't it?
You already seem
hyper. That's the first stage. You know, oddly, I talk a lot more in the beginning, and then I become withdrawn. This is my nervous stage. The good news is that there is a heightened clarity that comes with it, so.
Okay. These are the documents. It's basically the same as a living will. It expresses your intent not to be given the psychotropic drugs under any circumstances. I need you to sign it and date it.
Okay. Shouldn't this be notarized?
It isn't necessary. If they argue you lacked capacity, it just plays into our claim of incompetence.
Okay, if we win, how are you gonna get me back on the drugs? Assuming I want to go back on the drugs.
Why wouldn't you want to go back on the drugs?
Oh, I have to admit, I feel less dull.
But you said when you really regressed.
True. I guess what I would like is an adjustment in the meds to keep me where I am now. I mean, this is a good state where I am now. I feel more clear.
Denise, first, let's work on keeping you alive.
Right.
Jury's back.
What?
They have a verdict.
What's wrong?
They could never have computed the damages in an hour.
Which means?
They didn't have to. They found no liability.
Well, maybe they're just angry enough. They picked a big number and said screw 'em.
Let's go.
Come on.
Members of the jury, you have reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
Your Honor, could I have a 2-minute recess? We have an offer we'd like to propose to the plaintiff.
Your timing is curious, Mr. Grundle.
Until that verdict is entered, this case isn't decided.
It's Friday. I'm not bringing this jury back. You have 2 minutes.
I'll confer with my client.
It's got a 2-minute clock, Eugene. And it's final.
Excuse me. Please. Don't anybody scream. 1.6 million.
Why? What?
He must have been authorized to settle if he didn't like the faces of the jury. Something tells him we've won. And a verdict against them is too devastating, even if it's overturned on appeal.
Should we take it? It's a lot of money.
Let's take our chances.
What?
You said that they couldn't possibly have computed damages so fast.
Maybe they did pick a big, fat number, and if we got them, we'll let them off.
1.6 is a lot to walk away from.
Not enough to make them hurt. And if the idea
Excuse me 1 second. What are you doing?
This is a verdict that could send a message, Jimmy. We're this close.
It's not about sending a message. It's about getting a result for our client. And 1.6...
The faces on those jurors.
We don't know what those faces mean. I realize you may want to stick it to the alcohol industry.
I'm only thinking about the client. It's got nothing...
What is going on?
We're divided. I think you should take it. Eugene votes to reject it.
I have a feeling, that's all I can say. It's not a science.
Let's hear what the jury says.
Joshua.
Eugene?
If you want to make them pay, 1.6 is a drop in the bucket.
Let's reject it.
The offer is rejected, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Foreman, what say you?
In the matter of the estate of Michael Berry versus Portis Brewery, on the count of wrongful death, we, the jury, find in favor of the plaintiff and order the defendant to pay compensatory damages in the amount of $700,000. We further order the defendant to pay punitive damages in the amount of $125 million.
Defense moves for a judgment notwithstanding the verdict.
Denied.
We appeal.
So noted. Members of the jury, thank you for your service. You're excused. And this matter is adjourned.
This will be appealed. It'll be a long time before you see any money. But this is
a good start. I don't know what to say. Neither do I. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
I tried to persuade her to come to the visiting room.
It's okay. Is she all right?
I think so. She just doesn't want to come out, and I didn't really want to force her.
Denise?
Hi. I'm sorry. I didn't feel safe. I know it's not rational, and I realize that I am just a couple of pills away from feeling better, but even so, I mean, do you mind? I feel more comfortable in here.
No problem.
What's the news?
There is no news. I just came by to tell you that all the doctors are lined up. The appeal is being drafted, and we're ready to file as soon as...
As soon as I arrive at my destination?
Basically. How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm heading into that. I don't feel like being inside my skin part, but I'm all right.
Listen, I'm gonna stop by daily and check up on you, okay?
You know where to find me. I don't travel much. It's just as well. It's not safe, is it?